Hey, everybody. It's me, Jake, from Jake and Off. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. This week, I am joined by, you guessed it, a funny friend and talented comedian, Terence Berger, everybody. Give him a round of applause. Let him hear it. Give it up for Terence. Gosh, I love Terence. I love talking to him. Make sure you go follow him at Terence3Berger on Instagram, at Terence3Berger, Terence, the number 3, and then Berger, Berger. Go follow him. Give him a follow. Go see a show. As always, you guys know what to do with this podcast. Follow us at jakeand.off.podcast. Send anything at all to jakeand.off.podcast@gmail.com. Subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube and you enjoy it, subscribe to this channel, please. Like this video, and as always, enjoy the episode. Have a good listen to the episode. Oh yeah, but that's kind of what we did for those recording shows at the Emerald. We did those recording shows, and we all just threw in that one we did like we all threw in like $20 or something like that, because we were trying to make sure that our recordings were good. It was really selfish. We got to make sure people are there. But honestly, dude, I think that it ended up being most everybody there knew somebody from the show.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, dude.
Dope.
But it's pretty cool. How was Catch a Trying Star last night?
It was good, man.
Yeah, dude.
It was good.
Yeah? You had a fun time?
Yeah, definitely.
Is the coffee room in the Rhino still open where they have the coffee?
Yep.
They're closing soon.
I know. That's what I heard.
Yeah, we did a Don't Tell It because it's Post Coffee Co.
Uh-huh.
And they opened a coffee shop right off of Broadway. And they have this sweet second basement area where we did a Don't Tell there last week. It was sweet. Yeah. So I'm happy that at least that business has another place to operate and stuff. Yeah. And they're really big on local arts, kind of teaming up with people and shit. So they seem like really nice folks. But yeah, dude, I like Catch a Trying Star.
Yeah, it was good. Did you had a show last night too?
Yeah, at Barrel of the Bottoms. It was good. We had a decent amount of people there. I headlined. I did 30 minutes. It's one of the only headlining shows really that I've done that amount of time at in Kansas City.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's one of my first in KC headlining shows.
It was pretty good.
Feels good, dude. Yeah, it felt good. I was stoked. So it's sweet. I like Barrel of the Bottoms a lot too. It's a dope little space.
Yes,
shit,
man.
so.
Steven did a great job putting that.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to the festival this week. We have all these fucking venues and shit that are doing stuff. Aaron Branch headlining one of the shows.
Right?
How cool. It's so tight. I'm doing that show with him on
Are
Sunday.
You serious?
Yeah, it's
That's
gonna be
awesome.
sweet.
I remember Aaron when he couldn't eat, he had to bring his mom to all of the open mic. You started out that same way.
I wasn't that young. I was 19. The first
19?
time, yeah, the
Got
first
you.
time I did comedy, but I did look like I was 12.
Yes,
I
you
had
did.
a shaved face, and I had no beard or anything. I was like a fresh-faced little baby boy.
Man,
I still look at pictures of myself from then. It's fucking. I look like a giant baby.
You was like a little big old teddy bear.
It's so funny. How long ago did you start doing comedy?
Oh man, too long ago. I'm embarrassed to tell.
Oh, dude, no.
No, a long time, man. It started in undergrad.
Okay.
I was a big Jackass fan, watching the shows and stuff.
You like Jackass?
Yeah, Jackass.
Did you ever do
Tom Green was actually his show, man.
Okay,
I used to
fair
love
enough.
it. Yeah, so I used to watch all those. But on campus, I would be doing stupid stuff.
Really? What'd you do?
Oh man, one time it was a big headlining comedian. Or there was a concert. You know how campus activities would bring a concert. Yeah. So there was a big pause. There was an opening act, and then there was a big pause where I guess they were setting up for the next act to come on. Yeah, performance to come on, and everybody was just sitting in the audience, and it was quiet. And I ran. I started yelling at the top, making this weird. We used to make it all the time, this weird noise, because this guy growing up, we lived in the hood, but this guy, he had peacocks, and they meant like this weird noise.
Oh yeah, like the animal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But so I ran out of the gymnasium making that noise, and then I ran. It was completely silent.
Yeah.
And like people just waiting. And I ran out of the gymnasium. Then I ran up the stage the whole time yelling this noise. And I was doing the Forrest Gump run, like running like really weird. And then I ran through, and like the crowd started dying laughing. And then I let the laughter die down, and I ran back through and did it again. So it was like just stupid. Like that wasn't. And then from doing that, the sorority was like, man, people knew, Berger, he's a funny guy, and they asked me to host a fashion show that they was having. That was the first time that I actually wrote material to like, okay, I'm gonna prepare for this.
What were some of your fashion materials? Do you remember any?
It wasn't even fashion material. I was making fun of just I can't even remember any of the jokes.
That's so
I did do a video though. So I was part of this thing called Sharing Our Stories in undergrad. It was supposed to be for like motivate. Well, it was one of the professors. We go and talk to like high schools, troubled youth at high school. So it was like we were supposed to be mentors and all this. And what I did, it was ridiculous. So for this, I showed a video. I lived in this apartment complex. It was up in St. Joe. And there were some kids. And what I did, it was stupid. Like, I was like, what the heck was I doing? Like, it was ridiculous now that I think about it. But I made it look like so I gave them it was called Reading Rainbow. I was like the guy from Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
So I put on a sweater and I said, hey kids, like I told, like I didn't know these kids at all, but I had a camera set up because I had a camera set up. Hey, you guys come over. And I said, look, we're going to read this book today. But so on the inside, it was just a regular, like a children's book.
Yeah.
But on the outside, I had probably Playboy or one of those knockoffs.
Oh, yeah.
So I made it look like they were reading that. And it was so like ridiculous. So they weren't actually looking at it, but on the camera, it looked like that they were reading. And then I was like, but you don't. And then so I did this whole segment on, but you don't have to take my word for it. And that my professor or my mentor was so pissed off. He was like,
it's messed up.
Yeah,
you took those kids and you're supposed to be mentoring
and you're
them,
supposed to be
now you look.
Oh my
that's
God,
so funny, dude.
So that's how I started. That was the first time that I actually started writing material,
Wow.
And then I would come down to Stanford and Sons and doing open mics from St. Joe.
Yeah, that's That's a long drive. You know what? That's so funny. I was like I was thinking of like, because if you do comedy for long enough, and especially like in an area that's not like a New York or LA, but even in New York or LA, I'm sure shit like this happens. You get offered to do like weird shit that it's not really comedy. Like you wouldn't consider it. It's not the same as like stand-up comedy, but it is performance related.
Exactly.
And so it's like this blurred line of like, if I do this, I'm still a comedian, like that's my capacity, but like what am I supposed to do? The weird one that I have,
what's that?
Is I emceed a beard and mustache contest. And it was
beard and mustache contest.
Dude. It was down here at like some convention center in Kansas City. Little convention center, obviously. There's not a ton of people going to beard and mustache contests. And my girlfriend, now girlfriend, this was maybe like the second or third time we had ever really hung out. I was like, you want to come with me to this? Like, it's going to be weird. You know? I was like, it's going to be weird. And it did not disappoint, dude. It was fucking odd as hell. Like, I had a really good time. It was a ton of fun. But I was emceeing all these different beard and mustache. And they have like a fantasy app. Like, people travel from all over the country, and they have like fantasy football. They have like fantasy beard and mustache.
Wow.
And everything.
So what are some of the matrixes? Is it like length or?
There's like most creative categories. There was.
What's one of the most wildest ones you saw?
Dude, there was the one that we had here was honestly like super tame. Like, you see the stuff online of people with like bird cages made out of there. These were just people with like really long, well groomed. There was one guy who had like a Fu Manchu kind of thing going on, but it was like braided a little bit into his beard. And he told me he ended up winning one of the contests, but he was like, yeah, I was just like out earlier today. Like, and somebody saw me and was like, you got to come to this thing later. Like, he wasn't even planning on like doing it. And they had a women and children's beard contest obviously not actual beards. They just made fake beards and shit. And the thing that I remember the most about it was there was this entire family, like husband, wife, like 2 or 3 kids all with beards on, like just amped about this beard competition. And then also the grandpa was there. And like he's got no beard on, just clearly like doesn't get it. But this is what his grandkids and like his kid and their family are like into. Right. And so he's sitting there just like kind of just like pissed off a little bit. And one of the only jokes that I like really came up with was like I went up and I was like, you know, joking around like, hey everybody, like this is gonna be fun. And I said, hey, I see a lot of beards out in the audience tonight. And then I was like, oh, and I also see a lot of men with facial hair. And nobody thought it was funny except for the guy that was there that was like clearly embarrassed of his family, was like and then it really like was. It was a fun night, but it was I got all the beer that I could drink.
Right.
We got to drink like all the beer we could for free.
How did you even get booked for that?
Because Joe Nunnick, friend of the pod, Joe Nunnick, he got asked to do it first, but he was hosting another weird comedy thing where he got invited to host this charity dating auction. Where he was auctioning off people for dates. And so he was like, I can't do the beard and mustache thing because I got to go auction off people for dates. And the date thing paid better. So.
Of course. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was weird, man. It was a weird time. I still have a cup. From that beard and mustache contest. And I still run into one of the guys occasionally that like put it on. He still has a nice beard.
That's hilarious, man.
It's weird as hell, dude.
Wow.
But yeah, dude. There's always weird shit like that.
I don't think I've had anything that weird, man.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Facial.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Facial hair fantasy or fantasy facial hair app. If you look up the fantasy facial hair app,
pointing scores,
it'll like have the next contests that are coming up, and you can like start a fantasy league.
Wow.
With some of your pals on facial hair.
Wow.
Who's gonna win? It's so weird, dude.
I couldn't participate. I can't get this one to growing over there. So.
Dude, yeah.
I'd suck.
It's patchy. Mine's like a little like thin.
Nah, yours. I've seen yours get pretty.
Yeah, let her go. I'm letting my hair grow out right now.
I like it, man.
Yeah, dude, it's getting longer. I got beautiful hair. I didn't know that for most of my life.
You didn't?
I shaved it. Yeah, I would shave my head all the time. Yeah. You remember?
Yeah,
I was like a shaved head, perfectly shaven, hairless boy.
No, I like it, bro.
For much of my life. Yeah, dude. I'm growing it out.
Dope.
Taking it. Dude, you know, I'm trying to look handsome, trying to be a handsome celebrity. I feel so, dude. I don't know if you fuck with football or not, but you're from Kansas City,
of course,
and so I know that you've been hearing nonstop about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, dude. Yeah. What do you think, man? What do you think is going to happen?
I feel
like
it's
going to be a celebrity.
Yeah, like it won't. Yeah, I give it.
What's gonna last?
We can put bids in for how long? What do you think?
Yeah, I think probably by the end of the football season.
You think the end of football season?
I think that by the end of the Chiefs season. So if the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, I think that they're going to be together until after the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
But if the Chiefs get out in the divisional round, they're going to be together until the Chiefs exit the playoffs. And I don't think that it's necessarily like, you know, one of those things where it was like, yeah, perfectly concocted in a lab to like use for advertising or whatever. But it does seem awfully convenient for the NFL to be like, look at Taylor Swift. Every 2 seconds you're coming to Monday Night Football, right? That's like all everybody was talking about was how she's going to be at Monday Night Football.
Right.
And, yeah, dude, it stresses me out.
I was going to say that same exact thing. It was I was basing on how far the Chiefs got this season.
Yeah, dude.
Man.
It makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Though. It's good for it's really good for Travis Kelce. There's like a trend happening right now.
His jersey sales went up like,
dude, insane.
Right?
An insane amount. There's people on like TikTok keep doing this thing to their significant others where they're like, I saw one was Julius Randle it was his wife was fucking with him and was like, yeah, like, who is this? Like this, you know, like nobody even knew who this guy was before Taylor Swift started dating him. And he was he was like, people knew who Travis Kelce was. Like, he's getting offended on behalf of this other professional athlete. But the flip side, the more cruel one that I've seen is like husbands to their wives being like, or like their girlfriends or like whatever, just being like, yeah, like Taylor Swift, who is that? Like, this Travis Kelce thing is really putting her on the map and stuff. And like these women are just being like, what are you talking about?
Oh, so they doing it on both sides. I've only seen the ones where the wives are like, this Travis Kelce. I didn't see the.
Yeah,
I gotta look at that.
I saw a couple. But it's not as interesting because, like, obviously the women are like, you're joking, right? You know, it's easier for them to be like, because of course you know who Taylor Swift is.
If you don't know who she is, you know who she is.
But dude, this Christian commentator man, very very right wing man, he had a bit of a different take than us, Terence. He says that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce should be executed.
Executed?
Isn't that crazy?
On what grounds? Like, dude, what's
his whole thing is that Travis Kelce is in a Pfizer commercial right now for the new vaccine, and so what he's saying is he's like they clearly are doing this to get people to take the vaccine, and they're all gonna die, and so we should execute Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And you know what? I'm gonna say it a little too far for me. A little too far for me. You know what? I do think I agree with the idea that this is a celebrity like advertising relationship, but I don't think it's like about vaccines, and I don't think that we should execute them.
Wow.
But you know what? That's just me.
All right.
That's just what I think.
God.
What do you think, Terence? Do you think that they should be executed? You're thinking long about it.
I know. No, man.
Of course.
Oh, gosh.
It's so funny.
People are crazy.
It's wild.
Speaking of that, man, there was something like that, you know, for those like Christians. We were down. I took my daughter. We were on the plaza, and they were down there with the big signs.
Yes.
And they were like quiet. And it was with my daughter. She's 5, and we were like waiting at the intersection across the street, and then I know they just started singing, and my daughter started crying like she just saw Satan. She looked up like she was so much like she saw Satan, like she was scared. I've never seen her this scared. And they like how they were singing. I was like, you can just tell like you guys are evil.
Yeah,
and it was Jesus is Lord. You know,
well, we get those guys around here. The Westboro Baptist Church people.
They live around here?
They're from Topeka, yeah. And they come to like Kansas City all the time.
All these demons up in Kansas City.
Yeah. And like they protest like soldiers' funerals and stuff, which is like, it's such a crazy place to try to get your message out,
right?
Because even if they like, you know, the fact that they're like soldiers or whatever aside, like. Funerals are just like, it's not.
Why you
it's so rude. It's just so rude. Like, and I get that it's like supposed to be in your face or whatever, but like these people aren't the ones. This guy didn't do anything, you know, like on purpose. He didn't invent the war in Iraq. He's just a guy who got tricked into going over there or whatever, you know?
And they want to protest.
Yeah, crazy, dude. But they want to execute Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, and I gotta say, I don't think it's for me, dude. No. Mitchell Harmon and I were driving down to go to Chiefs and Chatter last week, and down in downtown Kansas City, there was a dude who just had a sign that said Jeffrey Epstein on it.
Just Jeffrey
Epstein? Big sign. And then he was handing out pieces of paper to people, like rolled up, and he had a mask on because he was like concealing his identity clearly.
Of course.
And he was handing out rolls of paper. And Mitchell, I was in his car. We were driving by, and we pulled up, and we're like, "Hey, dude, give us some of those papers." And Mitchell has them now. I let him take possession because it just seemed like something that he should have.
Right.
You know what I mean? It seemed like his souvenir. But they were just like timelines of Jeffrey Epstein and like all this like stuff that is just like irrelevant, like sort of put in there, and then you're supposed to make the connection yourself. Like it had stuff about like children showing up to the border like without their parents, and then right next to it was like stuff about Jeffrey Epstein, and clearly like your connection is supposed to be they're coming for Epstein. It's Epstein who's making all these people.
Crazy,
I know,
man.
dude. It's like it's wild because the thing that I think is tough for people to have like wrap their heads around is that like there's like not necessarily like a big conspiracy behind like bad stuff that happens. It just so turns out that like there are a lot of people who are pieces of shit. Definitely. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that it's hard for people to believe that there could be so many evil people in the world that do bad stuff and hurt people and stuff. And so their idea is that there has to be like one like sort of like person or a few people like pulling the strings, and like everybody wouldn't be doing this to each other if they actually had a choice.
Right.
But the reality is that people are just kind of bad to one another.
Power corrupts.
Yes, of course,
so
dude.
If you're a shitty person and you get power, you're going to be a shitty person with power.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
Money, you'll
fucking right on, dude. If you're a shitty dog and you go even if you go to the White House.
That could be
like Joe Biden's dog keeps biting people, dude. Have you seen any of this?
Joe Biden's dog bit somebody?
Because you're a dog guy.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
know.
And I remember I brought my dog and it bit two people and I had to get rid of it.
Dang, Max?
No, not Max. It was Gandhi, man. I had to get rid because she got loose and there was kids. So with the history of bite,
wild. Yeah.
And then she had bit two. Well, she was a good dog,
right?
And then she got out. And I thought they were gone. Her and my other dog, they were gone for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was posting up signs everywhere. And she was a completely like great dog. And then one day I thought they were gone. I come back home from work and they're sitting in the front yard just chilling.
Damn.
So, and after that, she was totally different. Like I would always go and get coffee at Broadway and I would, leave them outside and then go inside and get my coffee. But after that, so when they came back, we, back to the routine, and I would go inside. People, but before they got lost, people would just pet them and go get their coffee. And I'm looking out the window, and then when they got back, somebody went to go pet her, and she, almost bit, and they jumped back, and I was like, whoa, that was the first time. I was like, I'm so sorry about that. She never. And then I brought her to Mockingbird, R.I.P. Mockingbird.
Yeah, R.I.P.
And we was out on the balcony, and she tried to, I think it was because he brings his dog too.
Dustin,
yeah. Like Dustin went over, tried, she like grabbed him. I was like, oh man. And then she had got loose at the house, but I was about to say, is there such thing as a bad dog? But I think that when they got out, somebody was torturing them or something.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no,
when she came back, she was like totally different dog.
I was just using it as a segue. I agree that it's like it's an owner thing usually. When a dog is bad, it's an owner thing.
Exactly.
Like, either like nature, it's nature versus nurture. But this stuff about Joe Biden's dog, it's
amazing.
Because it's kind of like a little much. Like obviously, like I'm not a person.
He's a German Shepherd.
He's a German Shepherd.
You know what? And they're on the list. If you think it's pit bulls, they're
bad,
most,
dude. Yeah,
German Shepherds
like
they have the most attacks.
Look at this guy, dude. And they took this like crazy picture of him. This will be on the podcast video for everybody. But he looks insane. His name is Commander, and he's a fucking psychopath. And he's in our White House, and he's biting Secret Service agents, dude. They were like, so this article I read, they're
hilarious.
Like, he bit another Secret Service agent. But then I like read two or three sentences in, and it says, this is the 11th time that the dog has bitten a guard at the White House or the Biden family home.
Oh, my God.
And it's like, dude, come on. Like,
it's a reflection
of all the people whose dogs should be, like, well-behaved and trained, like, you'd think it'd be the president of the United States, right? Like, you have access to the best. Get Cesar Millan in here, dude. Get the dog whisperer. Call in a favor. What is going on with this dog has bit 11
people. That picture right there.
Dude, it's so funny.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
That's like when they like are talking about a celebrity and they want to like talk how they gained weight or something.
Right.
And so they'll like put like the most ungracious picture of them that they can find.
Oh,
that's what
God.
they did to this dog, dude.
If he tried to rerun, I could see campaign ads like Joe Biden. His dog has been seven, and they got pictures of this. His dog just
Joe Biden's gonna keep the country in line.
Right.
He can't even keep his dog in line. It's just this dog has been 11 Secret Service agents.
Oh shit. Oh man, I didn't know that. That's a wild.
Dude, isn't that so crazy? So Secret Service records obtained by a conservative group through a Freedom of Information Act request in July revealed details of the other 10 biting incidents. So they are, dude. They're already gearing up. They're like, we're gonna do this Joe Biden attack ad. We're gonna get him. We're gonna fucking get his fucking dog.
Right.
Oh, it's so funny. But dude, the other thing that I noticed, look at these shoes. They're like business shoes, but they have like running shoes bottoms. And I'm like,
Secret Service right there.
Yeah, I'm like, why can't the rest of us get some of these?
Hey, those are probably.
I've never seen shoes like those.
Right. Across, probably like Nike Cole Haan mix or something like that.
I kind of feel like they're like holding back on us in the dress shoe department here right now, because I keep seeing these and I'm like, dude, those look like they would be like comfortable to stand in at like a wedding or something.
Right.
Like you gotta
still look.
Yeah, dude, here he is as a little puppy. He's 2 years old. He's a 2-year-old dog, you know? He's still got a lot of life. Oh, so
he's still 2. I mean, he's only 2 now. I was thinking he was an older.
No, like, dude. But they're talking about, they're like, he gets stressed out. It's the White House. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on and people walking around and, people trying to kill his dad. Like that kind of stuff. It's just, but it's so funny that it's 11 times. It's so flippantly was in this article that I was like, God damn, that's 11 fucking times.
Yeah, that's
it's too much.
Like you said, the dog,
too many times.
The owner, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, well, maybe if Joe Biden wouldn't focus so much on Ukraine and train his dog a little bit, I'm just trying to think of like all the shit they'll say, like, yeah, Joe Biden was too busy smoking crack with his son Hunter Biden to fucking train his dog right. Bit 11 people. Right. That's hey, is that how many prostitutes Hunter bought?
Right.
Or whatever. Fucking
asshole. Damn. You're educating me. I didn't know that.
Did you see that they arrested somebody in the murder of Tupac?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
And you know what? I was like surprised because I watched like one of the press conferences or whatever, and it seemed like one of the detectives was like getting a little emotional even, because he was like, a lot of people like thought that we didn't care about this or whatever. Right. He was like, but we've been trying really hard to figure this out. And I was like, okay, dude. All right. Don't fucking cry about it. But it was crazy. Like, I guess this dude is like, he's 60 years old now. Isn't that wild to think about? 60? Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Well, he's 60 years old.
Yeah, that was wow.
So what it was like he, everybody knows.
Wasn't he going on podcasts talking like?
Yeah, he was going on podcasts just like me. He was doing exactly what I'm doing right now, and talking shit. No, he was. Tupac Shakur had gotten in a fight with some people in a hotel right before that, and one of them was his nephew.
Was the guy's nephew?
The guy who shot him. It was his nephew. And maybe he didn't shoot the gun, but he gave the order for these guys, because he was like a gang sort of like upper tier guy in the gang that they were in. And so he gave the order. He was in the car and everything. They said, like, shoot him. So isn't that wild? That's 60 years old. It's crazy, man.
And he's not gonna have a good time in there, man.
No, dude.
The guy who killed Tupac?
Yeah, I feel like people would be pretty upset about that.
Yeah, he got to be in like solitary.
Really? You think so? I think so too.
62?
Yeah, it's 60.
He'll probably die on the bench or something. Like, when 60?
It's wild.
Man.
Dude, but you think about like, how long it took him to get this guy, like.
Right. Well, I think him going on podcast saying that I gave
that's
the
right.
order.
Oh, yeah, he was going on podcast. You're talking about the guy that shot.
Yeah, yes, that's how he was going on podcast saying that, this was a story.
Like recently. Yeah, I was thinking you were saying back in the day. I was like, I don't know if they had podcasts.
No. I think that's why they were able to gather evidence on him going to podcast. I was in this like,
you're
you
exactly
put enough
right.
of them together. Like, okay, you said this here, you said we got a case. Let's bring
this guy dude. In. Yeah, he had been going on a podcast talking about, all the stuff he did, but all the other dudes who were there are dead now, because it's been, they're like 60 or whatever, like it's been a long time,
right?
And so there's like, I think like maybe like 4 of them in total, and they said the rest of them are dead. So like this guy is like really the only dude left that they can actually punish for what happened. Which is, honestly, it's crazy that they even like got him. It really is. Yeah. If he wouldn't have ran his mouth about it, like on podcasts, he probably would have been, Now
if we can just find who got Biggie.
Yeah, who was it?
That's their next.
Who was it?
Damn, you said the guy was crying.
Hey, if you shot Biggie and you'd like to go on a podcast.
Right.
I know of one. Yeah, dude, that'd be cool. That'd be a sick way to get some press.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Jaking Off was the place where the guy who shot Biggie said that he did that. So, crazy claim to fame.
Right? Hey.
Crazy claim to fame, dude.
No publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah. Well, this is a little lighter. This next one is a little lighter. Do you remember did you hear the story about the guy who, he's like a chess master. He's a grandmaster. But he was caught cheating because he had a vibrating butt plug in his ass. And it was vibrating to tell him, like, what to do.
Are you serious?
Like, somebody was sending him signals. Allegedly. He denies it. He says that's not what happened.
It wasn't actually in the.
So it was in September of last year. It was a year ago. His name is Hans Niemann, and he sat down to play Norwegian Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen. And this happened in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's a shame. Just kidding.
So how they figure out that he had the
dude? Because he was sitting there and he's like, oh.
Check.
He was like, knight to E5. I don't remember. They caught him, I think, just because.
Can I see a picture of the guy? Let me see what he looks like.
Yeah, dude.
Tell me a lot.
Yeah,
that's the guy.
Yeah,
I could definitely see.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the way he's like
he's serious about anything for this one. Yep.
Yeah, this is just, it's like, can we really punish a guy for just doing everything it takes to win?
Man.
He just wants victory.
Right?
But he beat the guy, and they accused him of cheating.
Using a butt plug.
And it blew up, dude. It was like a huge story in chess, which I play chess or whatever. I don't like follow people who play chess because, it was just like, come on, man.
Right.
Like, this is not that impressive. You're playing a game. But
hey, but it's tough, man.
It's tough. It's hard to tell.
If you don't know how, then
you have to be really smart. It's just not something that I would watch on TV.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But isn't there like it's like mechanics almost, like if they make that move, you automatically
make
this
dude
move.
There is a lot of like there are a lot of like book moves or whatever where like because there's certain things that you're trying to do at the beginning, like especially like controlling the very four like middle spaces.
So four middle space, that's the important part of the board?
In the beginning of the game, like you want to try to get control of like the four middle spaces, the four middle squares in the center of the board. And so that's what a lot of like the movements in the beginning are about. So like if somebody does one thing, then like that's how a lot of times you'll know, okay, I'm gonna do this.
So when does it come down? Once you get to those four squares, that's when it comes down to the who's actually the better.
So the beginning of the game, like the beginning or like the opening is like what they call it, is really like just the parts where people are like setting up for their strategy.
Gotcha.
Like they're moving their pieces in place for their strategy. And a lot of times it is like to get control of the middle four spaces. And then after everybody's got everything set up and they actually start taking their pieces, that's what's referred to as like the middle game. And that's when it gets like less like book, like, and you're like, okay, well they did this and I know that I should do this.
That's when they
and that's where you're like have to start. Yeah. And that's when they would fire up the vibrator and be like, okay, here's what you should do.
Damn. Okay. Here we go.
But he's 20 years old and he denies it. He's saying it didn't happen. He's saying I'd never.
I mean, that's one hell of an accusation to.
It is
a butt plug.
It's so crazy.
In Casino they had the little thing. The movie they just had the strap thing on his leg.
Why couldn't they do that?
Right. Why do we got a butt plug? You got a butt plug here.
That is funny. It is funny. They're like that, like the idea of like somebody being like, yeah, man. So like we have this thing we can just like stick it right into your thigh, and he's like, no, I think we should use a butt plug probably. And they're like, well, it's really unnecessary. We don't actually. And he's like, no, I think that we should use the butt plug. They're like, but we don't have to do that. And he's like,
no,
it's the best way. It is the best way to do it.
You seen Casino?
But he denies it, man. He says he didn't cheat. He says he would never. He says he never. He says if they want him to strip fully naked, he'll do it. That's what he's saying.
Right there on the spot or when? Like the next game?
Yeah.
So that's going to be naked chest.
Yeah, dude. That'd be sick.
It would. Well, what do you mean by sick? Like good sick?
Disgusting.
Okay, thank you. You know how sick it mean? Like,
these fucking naked nerds.
But it will depend on who's playing.
Yeah, dude.
That could become a cool sport.
A good point.
Like
yeah, dude. Like
naked a bunch of dumb chicks just playing like.
Dude, that could be like a Twitch stream or something.
That would
make a lot of money.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
There's your next.
Maybe we should.
Red Bull. You need an extreme sport.
Hey, let's cut this podcast a little short.
Right.
We got bigger plans. I don't know, man. If you ever, I feel like if I ever was in the position of like, being accused of cheating in that way, and I did it. I feel like if somebody accuses you and you did it, I feel like you got to just like come clean about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if this guy did it or not for sure. He was 19 apparently when he did it. It sounds like an immature young mistake to make, But I don't know. I can't think of like a situation where somebody was like, all right, shove this in your ass so you can win. I'd be like, I don't
Maybe it would have been double,
bad.
like, I'm going to win and I'm going to pleasure myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe he gets off on it, dude.
That's what, yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe
double.
His whole thing is he can't come unless he wins at chess.
Right.
And has a vibrator in his butt.
Something.
At the same time. Hey, different strokes for different folks,
man.
Dude. Bro. Okay, this guy cracked me up. This guy, I think, is actually kind of a hero. Okay, so he was a West Virginia man.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, he was really drunk in the woods. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to ride home. And so he called 911 and said that he was being attacked by bears.
So what's wrong with that?
He
got arrested for that?
Well, yeah, because they
false, like a
yeah.
False, God.
And well,
where's the bears at?
Yeah, the lie was like a little crazy because he was on the phone with the 911 operator and he was like, yeah, there's I'm like in danger, like da 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 da, and they were like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm surrounded by bears. Like he's like saying that there's like a pack of bears. Or something, which like already is just not. That's just not how bears are, Like even just the most. I don't know anything about like bears,
right?
But I know that they're not pack animals, And so he's like, I'm surrounded by a pack. He's like, there's like 10 of them, or something, and like is saying all this stuff, and then he's like, I'm bleeding everywhere. And like all this shit, and then obviously like all these people show up because it's in the woods. He's like in West Virginia, the mountains, and so they gotta like
safety crew
come find this guy.
And that's not
safety
cheap to
crew.
bring this man.
Exactly, and then they show up, and he's just like, I was just drunk,
I
man.
just needed a
Like
ride.
the bears are gone. I don't know.
Did he even like throw ketchup on himself or anything or anything?
Yeah, he's just like
Jesse Smollett
showed up and like.
Wow.
They just showed up and he was fine. Yeah, Jesse Smollett, he did. He was like, they found out later that he had paid the bears to attack him. A pack of bears.
There's a pack of bears.
They're on my
Yogi
ass.
Bear.
Dude,
Oh, man.
have you ever seen a bear? You ever seen a bear IRL, dude, up close?
At the zoo, does that count?
Dude, yeah.
I've never been
that
to like
counts.
Yellowstone. Okay.
I saw one. I drove through Yellowstone once, and we saw one like walking around.
Mm-hmm.
But then one time I went to a circus where you could like sit next to one.
sit like right here?
Yeah, like right next to one. I did it. It was really scary. I was a little kid. It was so scary.
You took a picture?
Dude. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, my parents, probably my dad has it.
Wow.
But yeah, there was the thing was there was like a plexiglass separator, but it wasn't like, dude, the bear could have reached over and killed me if it wanted to. Like, it's not, honestly, it felt like it was there more for me than it was to like stop the bear. It was just to make me feel a little bit better, because it was not very big. It was like only like that much taller than me, and I was a child. So like if an adult person would have been sitting there, the bear could have like easily like reached over and like rubbed his head or something.
Damn.
And like fucked you up. But it's just a circus bear, you know? So
those are the ones that fucking go crazy. Like, give me the
yeah, dude. Those are the ones that end up like Joe Biden's dog. Just fucking ripping Secret Service agents' throats out. Yeah, dude. Joe Biden's dog is a Chinese Communist Party agent, I think. Waging war on this country, dude. He's so fucking funny, dude.
People actually went and pulled files to release that.
Yeah, dude. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do like a big, like it'll be like in the arms of the angels like spoof or something,
right?
Where they're like, just one vote this November, you too can send Joe Biden's dangerous, scary dog home. Dude, I'm not looking forward to the election at all, because just fucking is gonna be like such a bummer. But there's some really crazy funny stuff happening to like politicians and stuff. I don't know if you know who Lauren Boebert is. You know, she's a really, really conservative lady from Colorado. She's a congresswoman, and she recently got kicked out of. There was a bunch of headlines because she got kicked out of Beetlejuice the musical.
Oh yeah, that was the lady that was.
She's like vaping, and she was giving a guy a hand job, and like he was like grabbing her tits, and dude, she just had like the most white trash night at the fucking play of all time, where she's getting like her tit grabbed, and she was like singing along to Beetlejuice in the audience. Yeah, and this like jerking off her boyfriend or whatever.
Hey, I'll vote for her. Yeah, I did see that. I didn't know her name.
No,
but
that is funny. Yeah, there are.
I thought the guy was the politician and he was just getting.
No, it's the chick, dude.
Oh wow,
Lauren Boebert. Yeah. So the guy that she was with is like a Democrat. He's like a Democrat from the Denver area who's like a businessman, and she like came out and was like, I broke up with that guy, like, because I like didn't realize that he was a Democrat, and like that's why all this stuff came out, kind of like implying that like she was set up on this date to like look like an asshole, like, or something. And it's like, no, you weren't, dude. You went to a fucking musical in a theater and you vaped and sang along. That's not something that this guy did. All right, you jerked him off. Okay, just take responsibility for your actions, Lauren Boebert.
Vaping and singing along.
It's not like he grabbed your hand and was like, "Oh." You fucking jerked him off, dude. And his vaping, the vaping and singing along, I think, is even more fucked up. Honestly, like,
yeah,
you know,
at a musical,
getting like a hand job in a theater, yeah. Is it wrong? Yes. Should you do it? No. Have we all done it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I can't blame this guy for that. But dude, you don't go to a fucking musical and sing along in the audience, dude. Like, dude, vaping, yeah, like you're not at a concert. That part is the most egregious, I think, to me. Is the idea that she would make people sit like near her in this beautiful theater, wherever it is, you know, downtown Denver. I don't even know what's like fucking whatever that song is in Beetlejuice.
I know, that's what I was trying to think of.
6
one of the
foot,
Beatles.
7 foot, 8 foot, hot. Just vaping. She's like, grab my tit. She's like, yeah, I should have checked his party affiliation.
Oh,
it's like, what does that even mean, dude? It seems like he was down with everything, you know. And honestly,
his party Republican wouldn't do that too.
Yeah, dude. Well, I think that the idea that a Republican is gonna sit through Beetlejuice the musical while you're like vaping and singing along, like they would be like, "Oh dear, this woman is not who I thought she was."
Right.
Allow me to put on my top hat and leave. I said, "Good day, madam." I feel like she's only going to be able to date Democrats if that's like her thing. If she likes to vape.
That's musical. Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. But it was the guy was a Democrat. He like set her up. Is like what she's saying, which I could believe that could be the case. But it also doesn't seem like it was that tough to do. Like it seemed like all you had to do is take her to Beetlejuice. And let the musical do the rest. Oh, bro. Dude, what do you have coming up? What do you got going on? What's in the works for Terence?
Oh man, I got no active shows, man. I'm gonna start doing more sketches and
hell yeah.
I mean, you were just talking, about consistency and
doing
this podcast, and that's something that I battle with because I've tried to start a podcast. When I say I've recorded like 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And I haven't put it out. I haven't stayed consistent. I got this whole plan of producing sketches and pranks and putting this stuff out, but just being consistent, like you said.
Yeah,
so
dude, it's
working
tough.
on my consistency and putting out more content and just producing it. So.
Yeah, dude, I love the content that you do put out, though.
I appreciate it,
dude. Make sure tell everybody where they can follow you on Instagram.
Terence 3 Berger.
Yeah,
that's my Instagram. That's my TikTok. I only got like I said, I need to be more active.
Dude.
I'm gonna putting just I think a lot of stuff that I need to repurpose or bring out the archives.
Yeah, dude.
I was doing stuff. You asked me how long I've been doing comedy. I was doing a lot of stuff back in the day that it was it was up on YouTube, but now I can repurpose it and put it back out on. I need to do that and cut it up and sort of remarket it and put it back
there's
out
just like always like in this there's just always stuff that I'm like I should be doing this, like I should be doing this thing and like getting this thing done.
But you are, man. You stay
and
on
so
it, bro.
but I feel like everybody is, and we give like, but we always are like the toughest on ourselves.
True,
you know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, you have other shit going on. You have kids.
Yeah.
You have like a whole beautiful family and
Gotcha.
stuff.
True.
So it's like
That's
don't be too hard on yourself, bro.
Got you. Nah, but coming here seeing you just like, man, I can you making it happen and just. He's like, hey, I just learned how to do this myself and just staying consistent. I see that you're always, you get the show.
Every Tuesday.
So.
Every Tuesday, Jake Off Nation.
There you go.
It's the nation. Yeah, make sure you follow Terence 3 Berger on Instagram and follow his shit and check out his comedy. You're so funny, dude.
Thanks, I appreciate
and I
it.
love seeing you perform. Other than that, guys, you know what to do. Follow me at jaken.off.podcast on Instagram. Send anything at all to jaken.off.podcast@gmail.com, and I'll read it. I'll look at it. If you send it, I'll look at it. It's kind of scary sometimes. But
you get pretty wild stuff?
No, not too wild. Like I feel like I don't have enough listeners. I don't have enough reach, but I'm waiting for the day,
coming.
dude. I'm waiting for the day. I want people to send me weird shit. I love it. But yeah, send anything at all, jaken.off.podcast@gmail. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for listening. Like and subscribe. Give us a 5-star review, all that good stuff. Definitely. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.